Hey everyone. Oh, hey everybody. I wasn't sure if it started. If it hasn't started, I don't know.
Always professional. We're always like this.
So just trim this out. Scott, afterwards, can you just get rid of the starting.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it in post. I get rid of things in post. That's fine.
Change my words to something really witty, like, "Hey everyone, my name is Fraser Cain. I am the publisher of Universe Today, and this is your virtual star party for Sunday, April 6th, 2014." I am amazed that we were able to make a star party happen tonight because spring sucks.
Yeah, it does.
You're realizing that spring is it's the worst. We had to cancel the last two versions of the virtual star party, and then I think we had one and we had to cancel before. So I have decided that we need to have like a war on spring. So that's just so spring, fair warning, we're coming to get you. But Dave Dickinson was able to make it. Hey, David.
Hey, what's up?
And you got 4 targets for us tonight.
I should have the moon as that first quarter, and then Jupiter, Mars, and maybe Saturn if it's above the trees by the end of the show. We'll see.
Saturn.
Yeah, Saturn is rising about a little before midnight now, so we might be able to get it.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah.
So sorry to do this to you, David.
That's okay. Hopefully my bandwidth gets better as the show goes on here and people go to bed.
We got Gary Gonella. Hey, Gary.
Hey, guys.
And you're looking like just crystal clear. I don't know what's going on. It's like super HD.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot, so I'm clear.
Roy Salisbury. Hey, Roy.
Hey.
You're frozen. Oh, no, there you are. All right. And, of course, my partner in crime, Scott Lewis.
How's it going, everyone?
And now, Scott, you mentioned on the Twitters that we could not have had a worse night.
Oh man, it's just the epic battle for attention spans right now. So we have Game of Thrones premiere happening, Cosmos happening, and I think the only thing that would really make it worse is Firefly season 2 and the spin-off of Breaking Bad happening all tonight.
Right.
Just perfect.
You know what? I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones right now.
Right.
And I'll
I'll drive this crazy bus.
Will you? No, you won't. You'll be watching it too. But hey, you know what? There's like a ton of people actually watching tonight, so
awesome.
So they know what matters.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, live astronomification.
Game of Thrones doesn't answer your questions right now. We do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you're not gonna get it from Game of Thrones. Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't gonna point a telescope at the things you're asking for.
True.
No, Cosmos is awesome. Okay, Shah.
Hey guys.
In Malaysia, and tell us the temperature again.
It's blazing hot, 40 degrees Celsius.
40 degrees. What is
thanks.
that in Fahrenheit? Hold on, I got
104.
It's in Celsius.
CNF. 104. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's madness.
No, that's hot.
Oh, I don't know. And we got Darth Stewart in the darkness. Hey, Stuart. He can't hear. He's too busy collimating or flattening or whatever it is.
I think he's getting beer, actually.
Is he getting beer?
I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Oh, no, he's not getting
I grabbed some beer. Tonight we got a Blue Moon. It's very good.
Ugh. Why would you do that to yourself?
All right, David. Let's just kick this off with the first of the 4 targets.
How about we let people know how they can get a hold of us and ask those questions?
No, by all means, please. I've already had a
say, hey,
please.
We're going to brag, but not give you the
facilities
facilities to do this. So if you have any questions or comments for us or the astronomers involved, please use the Q&A app, which you can access both on Google Plus and on YouTube. We are also over on Twitter at _VSP, or either one of us personally. F. Cain is Fraser, myself, the Scientific Scott. David is Astro Guys with a Z. And Stewart is not important. It's Astro Stewart.
S24 man?
S24 man? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're all over the internet. Also coming on YouTube as well, and we'll be tracking those on the event page. And if we like you, or basically if I find it in time, I will totally respond, and we'll make sure that you guys get up there.
And then I guess one last announcement, or just a warning. It's the Yuri's Night on Friday.
It's Saturday.
Saturday
the 12th. So coming up this week. I know I'll be at the event in Los Angeles. So that's on the 11th at the California Science Center by Space Shuttle Endeavour. It's going to be awesome. So anybody that's local in the Los Angeles area, come down. I'm sure tweet me. I'll find you somewhere. But go to urisnight.net, and you can. It's a huge international celebration. So there are local or events somewhere local to you, somewhere around the world. I think 43 countries are having official Yuri's Night celebrations.
And the other big announcement we got to make is, and David's been following all this, is there's a lunar eclipse coming on the 14th, 15th.
14th, 15th. Yep.
Yeah, so Tuesday.
Yeah, the Tuesday
week.
after
Yeah.
next. Yeah, not this coming week.
So
the week after.
I know Scott has got plans, and I think we're going to try and do like a big live stream of the lunar eclipse. So, and this is going to be like seriously, people, set up some time, gather together with your friends. This is going to be a lunar eclipse visible in the night sky to most of the United States. Like pretty much all the United States is going to get a view to this lunar eclipse, especially if you're over on the West Coast. You're going to get just the perfect view of it. So this is going to be the one.
I should be able to stream it with this setup if it's clear. The camera I have in right now, it gets a pretty good full moon frame.
You're in. All right, and Scott's going to work on it too. So yeah, this will be great. I'm really excited. Okay, well let's get rocking then. Oh, and also you can use the Q&A app, which is running right now. So if you want, you can go to you should watch oh no, we've got some clouds. Fraser is answering questions on Google Hangouts, and you can interact there. So go ahead. Okay, cool. So David, we're going to start with your first of 4 targets. What do you got?
It's kind of funny.
What is this thing? What is this gray?
That is the waxing
you've got here.
Technically, waxing crescent about maybe 8 hours from first quarter moon. It's inverted in the scope, so that is indeed a first quarter moon. Only it's upside down, so it's got the illuminated half on the wrong side. But well, from the way I'm looking at it, anyway. So yeah, the moon's only about a week from that lunar eclipse coming up, the first eclipse of 2014. And it's going to be a series of 4 lunar eclipses, 2 this year and 2 next year, that North America is going to get to see all 4. So we're going from we haven't had a total lunar eclipse since 2011, and now we're going to have a whole bunch of them just like every 6 months or so we're going to have one. So it's going to be kind of cool. They're fun to watch.
Okay, so we've got Astronomy Honduras says, can some of you confirm that Mars is closest to Earth on Tuesday?
It's not closest, but it's at opposition, and it's kind of strange because you would think it's at the very closest during opposition, but it's not quite because Mars its orbit is elliptic, and what's happening is both of the Earth and the Moon are kind of like chasing each other around, and my hands are moving, but you can't see what I'm doing right now. Mars is actually moving slightly closer, about 1 moon diameter, 1 moon distance from the Earth. So it's about a week. Actually, it's at night of the eclipse it's actually closest. So it's going to get just a little bit closer over that next week. So it's opposition this Tuesday, then Mars at its closest for 2014 the next Tuesday, and then Earth is going to catch up on that inside racetrack and start moving faster away from Mars. So.
Right, and so it's just that you've got both planets on elliptical orbits, and it's just how those elliptical orbits line up, which is different than how the Sun, the Earth, and Mars line up. But I mean, it's already crazy bright, and so it's going to be at its brightest in about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, I'll probably move over to Mars here in about 20 minutes or so. I'll probably move on to the narrow field camera and then aim that at the moon and start changing targets.
Oh, fantastic! Well, the moon looks great. I mean, this is the best night for the moon as well.
Yeah, first quarter, this is the best time because it's up in the evening, it's high in the sky, and you've got a good profile right along the Terminator where you can see all those craters and mountains, and they all stand right out in profile.
Now, Eric Charlin is saying Jupiter is supposed to be close to the moon tonight.
It is very close.
Yes, it is.
It's about 5 degrees away. I actually could see Jupiter in the daytime near the first quarter moon before the sunset today. I went out with my binoculars, and you could spy it. You can find Jupiter near the moon in the daytime if you know exactly where to look for it.
And Eric also says, nice to have you back, guys. I was going through serious withdrawal symptoms. P.S. Fraser, tomorrow's video is really good. Loved it. What's our topic for tomorrow? Oh, is there a real Tatooine? So I do the video series on YouTube.
So real Tatooine?
Could Tatooine be real? Yeah. Yeah, so that was the topic for tomorrow. And so Eric is one of our Patreon subscribers, patreon.com/universetoday.
One of your patrons?
One of our patrons, and so he gets advance access to the video. So we give out tomorrow's video today. And also full-length interviews, so check it out. Patreon.com/universetoday. But this has nothing to do with the virtual stuff.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I never plug shamelessly, so let's move on.
Never. So wait, do you have an app by any chance?
I'm surprised. I'm glad you asked. Actually, I don't have it handy.
Actually, I might.
Oh, do you? Okay, well, I'm going to move on to Gary's view.
This is the Orion.
Nice.
That is
okay, here Scott is showing our phases of the moon app. Thank you for shamelessly plugging it. Move forward to the 15th, Scott, or the 14th, 15th.
Nice.
What color did it turn?
You are awesome.
Look at that, it went red.
Yes.
For
so
the
this
eclipse.
is free on Google Play, or I'm using actually the Pro version, which I happen to be friends with the developer of. So, but 99 cents on both.
It's $1.99 on either iOS or
$1.99. So, but this is great. I've used this with planetary astronomy students at the local college, and when they're trying to learn their phases of the moon, it's very interactive. You can go forward and back in time. It shows the libration. I love it. Great app.
You are the best promoter, Scott. Thank you so much. Okay, so Gary, so we got the Orion Nebula.
Orion, 10 seconds with each filter.
Wow.
3 narrowband filters, and hydrogen is red. And of course, the center's blown out.
Yeah, even at 10 seconds, the triangulum is totally overexposed. Oh, it's fantastic.
That's great, Gary. And yeah, Gary's in the LA area, so I can't repeat it enough. Just the amazing ability that you have with your scope and your filters. So
light pollution central.
Right, exactly. And so it's just a reminder that even if you are in a terribly light polluted sky like I am in downtown LA, there are ways that you can still get out and appreciate the night sky.
Actually, we got a question here about this from Aaron Kangi. So is this a true color view of the Orion Nebula? With the right telescope, could I look through and see these colors? So, Gary, is this a true color view of the Orion Nebula?
No, it's somewhat close, because hydrogen does glow in red, and it's mostly hydrogen alpha that's glowing. So it is a red. Unfortunately, anything less than like a 60-inch telescope, you're not going to see any color. One of the problems with looking with your eye is everything is black and white. Your eye was never designed to show low-level color. So, but this is somewhat what it'll look like if I took a picture through red, green, and blue filters, there would be more range of colors here.
Yeah, so I mean, in this case, Gary is using 3 filters of light, but I mean, I guess that's it, right? When we see light, we're seeing a specific wavelength that we see as red, we're seeing a specific wavelength that we see as green and blue. And we're looking and seeing the combination of those 3 colors together. What Gary's using, he's just choosing 3 different wavelengths, but that 3 wavelengths that happen to be visible in his horribly light polluted sky. So he's seeing that one for hydrogen, the one for sulfur, and the one for oxygen. And so he's building up a full color image. He's just picking 3 different wavelengths to make his full color. So
right, it's also very narrow. That's the biggest thing. Hydrogen glows at a red color. Sulfur glows at a little different shade red, and oxygen glows at a blue-green. So if you could see it in true colors, that's what you would see from the 3. But since those are gas clouds that are glowing, my filter is very, very narrow band just to get the light from those 3 bands. So all the street lights, everything else.
Mike Simmons, who is watching, and I don't know why he's not in the Hangout and is just watching. Mike, you should have gotten an invite. If you didn't get an invite, feel free to join us. If you don't want to join us, that's no problem as well. Says, with a big enough scope, you see mostly green in M42, but it takes a really big scope. And so the thing is that when you look through these things with the telescope, our eyes just don't get enough photons, and so the things look like gray fuzzy blobs. It's only when you hook up a camera and you capture images for a long period of time that you'll actually get to see those other colors. And Aaron also sort of follows up with like, how do the filters work? So like, how do you run those filters on your telescope, Gary?
There is how they work. There's a filter wheel at the front of my camera. I've got some pictures. I'll try to dig them up here. But I've got the filter wheel rotate. So the filter wheel I have actually has 5 slots. So I've got the 3 narrow band, and I also have a clear one, and I think I've got a red one in there. But I just use the 3 narrow bands. As far as actually how the filter works, it's extremely complex. Is how they get that very, very tiny. I mean, it's if you figure the visible light is 400 nanometers from one end to the other, my filters are just taking a 12 nanometer slice of that. So just very, very narrow. And
Yeah.
it takes a lot of engineering to design them like that. Goldman up in Northern California makes them, and he does a great job.
David, I got a good question for you. What is a blood moon?
Oh no. I got an article I'm working on that.
I know you are.
Yeah,
I believe you said, I'm going to debunk this blood moon thing.
Yes, there is a lot of woo going around the internet right now about the fact that this is what this series. I said that we've got a series of 4 eclipses coming up. This is what's known as a tetrad, and one thing is that this one falls on Passover. It's what's called a Paschal moon, and it's the moon after the equinox that Easter is also marked with as well. They don't always coincide, but to make a long story short, there's a lot of conspiracy going around about the fact that these moons fall on certain religious holidays that are coming up, that they pretend that there's going to be earthquakes and disasters and floods. And the thing is, there will be, just like there is every year. There are earthquakes and disasters and floods virtually any year of the calendar you're looking at. So, it's there's really nothing to it. I think they use the term blood moon. There's a bit in Revelation when I was doing my research about the moon will turn blood or red, or when a certain seal is opened, and and it goes on about it. So people are saying that, that this verse in Revelation has something to do with eclipses, the lunar eclipses. But there are lunar eclipses every year. They're not really all that uncommon.
Does it have anything to do with our dirty atmosphere and light going through it?
Yeah, and then the moon turns red when it's in the shadow of the Earth, because you've got all the sunsets that are focusing through the Earth's atmosphere around the edge. Yeah, exactly. So that's why the moon looks red, and the moon doesn't always look the same color every eclipse too. The color can change. I've seen eclipses. The eclipse right after the Pinatubo eruption in the early 90s was very dark. The moon almost disappeared into the Earth's umbra entirely. The umbra is the inner core of the shadow. Some eclipses, like I remember the one on the winter solstice in 2010, the moon was very bright. The moon was, you could see it really easily. So, eclipses, it varies. That's one great thing about every lunar eclipse. Some can be very red, some can be coppery, some are kind of tea-colored. If there's a lot of volcanic ash and things in the atmosphere, the moon can almost disappear entirely. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, the world won't end. So it will someday, but probably not this year.
So joining us is Mike Simmons. Hey, Mike.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I didn't get the invite, so
That's
here
weird.
I am.
You should, you should see it as like a notification if you don't,
Yeah, I looked all over, but Google
just drop me an
works
email.
in mysterious ways.
You are always welcome. So Mike Simmons is the fearless leader of the Astronomers Without Borders, and this is your month, Mike.
This is Global Astronomy Month. There's a lot going on right now, and you're talking about some of it with the eclipse coming up and Mars stuff and things like that. But
okay, I got to get some of these other pictures. Okay, Roy,
So,
what do we got?
Real quick, here's something from Twitter. This is Christian. I want to say it's Froschlin. I hope I pronounced that right. It's Froschlin. And this is his image of Orion using RGB. And this is taken in February. Still not true color, but it's very close.
It's like a phoenix.
Yes.
That's
And this is our friend. I will share one in a moment. Who likes to take photos of the ISS. I've got a bunch of them from him that are coming in. So thank you for tweeting us. I will get them out here because he's having issues actually putting them into the event page in Google+. So I will be sharing them out on Twitter, downloading them, putting them into Google+, and tagging him through the VSP page. So all attributions go to him.
Roy.
Yes.
What do you got?
It would be M101.
Nice.
It That was a 4-minute exposure. It's still too bright out for me right now, but it's starting to darken up.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, well, it's get darker. And now we go to Shaw, who's been waiting patiently in the blistering heat of the Malaysian summer.
It's summer every day anyway.
Yeah, summer every day. It's like, what is it? There's the hot season and there's the rainy season. Is that how that works?
Yeah. Okay, and we have the sun here. It's pretty boring at the moment, all the small sunspots, compared to one we have, the giant ones for the past few months back, I think. Yeah. And this is one of the largest, I think, 2040, I think, if I can't recall. 2027 over here.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You've got a good demonstration of limb darkening there. There's always something on the sun, even without the sunspots.
Yeah,
So what's limb darkening, Mike?
Shaw's showing it. You want to explain
what
it?
are we? Can you please explain it?
Well, limb darkening. Okay, so if you look at Shaw's image, you see it gets darker over towards the edge. And you see that in everything that's gaseous. And that's just the fact that you're looking through more gas. It's actually, the light is coming from down below. It's going through a lot of gas. And when you look at an angle like this towards the edge, it's just sort of like the atmospheric effects we get on Earth. So you're not looking as deep. You're looking a little bit higher up. It's called optical depth. And so it gets dark around the edge. It's not an artifact. It's a real physical phenomenon.
So it's kind of like how... like when you look down to the horizon, you'll get sunsets because you're looking through a little bit more atmosphere and the light's getting scattered more. But in this case, we're looking. Normally, you're looking straight down into the sun, but in this case, we're actually looking sort of sideways in through the atmosphere of the sun a bit, and we're seeing it look a little darker.
Yeah, you're not getting quite as far down into the sun's atmosphere where it's a little bit brighter down below. So there's something. I mean, the sun's got something going on all the time. So there's always a physics lesson there.
Oh, fantastic. And Stewart is still setting up. So I think I'll go back to David now. David's got the next target number 2.
Yeah, I've got Jupiter. I don't have the camera quite adjusted yet, but you can see one of the moons there.
I think I see it just above it.
Yeah, it's kind of laying on its side, so it's just the orientation of the camera is 90 degrees out of whack. So it's I believe that is Ganymede off to the side. There was Io. The order was Io, Ganymede, Europa, and Callisto when I looked a while ago, and Io went in front of Jupiter, and I think there may be a shadow transit right after midnight here in about 30 minutes or so.
And so, Scott, you've got you want to cue up some of those pictures from our friends down south?
Sorry, guys, I'm back. What have we seen so far, so I know what not to do? I had some equipment issues.
Oh, no, we've already kicked you out. You've been voted off the island, sorry.
Okay, that's good.
M101, Orion and M101, and now we're about to see the Horsehead.
So, as I mentioned earlier on Twitter, and was bragging about that, I have a surprise from one of our old friends at the Virtual Star Party, and I'm just going to put this up here and show off.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Anyone guess who this is from? Take a guess on who this is from.
Well, I see the large and small Magellanic clouds there over on the right.
Latitude kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
So this is
it has to be someone from the southern hemisphere.
It's our friend Cory Schmitz, who's now in South Africa. And so he sent me these this morning, or I guess for him tomorrow. Or no, it was tonight for him. So he sent them to me, and I'm just going to go through. He sent me 8 images, and they're just amazing.
You can see Venus at the bottom, that bright object there, too.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the zodiacal light right along the ecliptic. So you can kind of see the plane of the Milky Way versus the ecliptic in those photos.
Cory is a monster.
And these are all pre-processed. He has not actually gone through any of these. He's like, oh, these aren't ready to be put up yet, but they're good for VSP. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
There's that here, so just a wider view, so you're able to see Venus there again. And then this one I love. I know it's going to look vertical in our horizontal, but the sign here says danger ahead. Fasten safety belts and remove dentures. Maybe because it's just so jaw-droppingly beautiful is what I'm going to go with.
And that zodiacal light is just great. So you can see that Venus down in the bottom corner bottom right, and then I hope you can see the zodiacal light is this kind of hazy glow that's moving from the bottom corner up towards the Milky Way. And
That's just his flashlight.
yeah, that's just his flashlight. And David, tell me if I'm wrong, and Mike as well, but that's dust in the solar system that we're seeing illuminated by the sun.
Yeah, interesting fact, Brian May of Queen did his PhD thesis on the studying of the zodiacal light about
No
the
way.
particle size.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did Queen ever do a song about it?
I don't think he ever did.
I don't think it was Fat Bottom Girls, right? That's
Keep going, Scott.
That's another one of those things where you just don't realize what you're seeing. You're actually seeing the plane, like David pointed
Plane of
out,
the
the
ecliptic.
plane of the galaxy, plane of the solar system. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at this. I love it. I'm going to zoom in here.
Is that the elephant trunk? What is that?
This is photo 5. I did not get him to actually
He didn't tell you what this was.
information
Anyone?
was.
You know what this is?
Because I'm not familiar with this guy. 'Cause
No.
it's not anything I've looked at with my eyes.
I think it's that amoeba creature from the original Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's the head of Scorpio. I think.
Is
It's
it?
Yeah. I think yeah. That is Antares. That's M4. And the dark nebula, the dark nebula, the Rho Ophiuchus.
Ophiuchus? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah, looks familiar.
That's
Wow.
amazing seeing this
That's
dark nebula.
fantastic. Yeah.
Very cool.
And then because we can't see it up here,
That's the large Magellanic Cloud?
Looks like the large one.
Yeah, it's a large. I think that's the Tarantula Nebula. I think. Yeah, the Tarantula Nebula.
Can you see it, John, from your house?
It's quite low. It's about 30 degrees right on top of my roof, so it's not spectacular from here anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
he's...
to go down to Australia anyway.
Yeah. You need an excuse. There you go.
and yeah, just to rub it in.
Oh, look at those.
So we're seeing the treetops here, and I know you're sleeping right now, Cory, or maybe you're up doing astrophotography.
Yeah,
And you'll watch this later, but I hate you, and I love you.
We love you, but we hate you.
But we hate you.
Yeah.
And one final view of his night sky.
Oh.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm going to put these up in the event page
Nice.
for people to see. So for those that are just watching on YouTube, I think we'll update the Google or the YouTube description to send people over to the event page just so they can see the images that go up. But yeah, these are all from Cory Schmitz, and he's awesome.
Sterling Gothrop says, seems like Doctors Thad and Nicole and Pam haven't been here for a while. When we get them back, they're busy.
Nicole was here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Nicole was here a couple of weeks ago, and Nicole hosted the Weekly Space Hangout.
Yeah, she was in the Weekly Space Hangout Friday.
Yeah, and of course Pamela and I are doing Astronomy Cast, so it's just like everybody's got a bunch of projects they're working on, and we've sort of kind of broken down among the lines of the projects that we're working on, and so it's just hard. I know Thad is in class. Thad is teaching right now, so we don't really get him free until classes wrap up.
I've got a real job.
I've got a real job. I'm a professor, so we don't kind of get our hands on that until after school itself in May, June. So, but we got more people. We got Mike Simmons, which is great, from Astronomers Without Borders. So we're gonna try and bring in more experts and try and bring in some more big brains to help pitch in. So I know you guys love them, but there's lots more people who we can also bring in as well. So
Pamela also had like the plague for a while.
Yeah.
She was very sick.
She was very sick. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so can you go back to that, Gary?
Yeah.
There we go.
This answers the question. This is a very low-res picture. I grabbed it off the website. But at the top, you can see where the CCD chip is. That's where the imaging is. And then I've got a space for 5 filters. So this automatically turns, and I can remote control that.
Yeah. And so to make these images, you're actually rotating through. You're just going click, click,
right,
click, and you're getting 3 pictures, and then you're merging them together and turning that into
right. And also, the other thing I have to do that, thankfully, Roy reminded me how to do here, is it changes focus with each filter. So I've got an autofocuser out there, and I've set how much the offset. So I do focus on one, and then I know that it's 5 points this way, 6 points that way. So each time I do a different filter, it changes the filter, it changes the focus, and then takes a shot.
So here's another image coming into us from Christian as well.
Awesome.
And I got them shared onto Google Plus, so it's easier for me to share into here. But
yeah, so I mean, if you're an astrophotographer and you've been taking some pictures, by all means, either tweet them at Scott at @the_VSP or put them into the Google Plus event page.
And there's some that are having issues actually putting them in to the event page. So I had Christian here plus mention me in a private post and send me the images so I can share them out there so I can put them in later. But I love the tweet that goes along with this. When he originally sent it to me, he said, just a public service announcement. I do tweet from the moon. This is how great of an image he's got.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's phenomenal. That really looks like you're in an orbiter just going across the moon.
Right.
Yeah, that's something. All right, I'm gonna move to Gary's view again.
You got to know what that is.
Yeah, that's the horse head.
The horse head and the flame.
Yeah.
And you can start to see a little bit different color. Like I said, most of the stuff that glows out there is hydrogen, because most of our universe is hydrogen.
And so, funny story about the Horsehead Nebula. This is the, if you watch the video, the one that Google did, about the virtual star party, it's got Gary in that video. We're talking about where I said, and that's when I knew we could do anything. And it makes it look like I'm talking about Michael's pictures, but actually it was Gary's shots. That when Gary was in a live hangout with us, it was like with me and I think Phil Plate and Pamela, and we were just like testing out technology. He goes, I think I can do live high-resolution images, and he was demonstrating bringing in the Horsehead Nebula into a hangout. I had no idea we could get the Horsehead Nebula live in a hangout, and that's when I knew we could do anything. That from the various people, and now the fact that Gary has upped his game and turned it color, it's a whole other world. So this is just phenomenal, Gary.
That's it, and it's live within the last few minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty live. It's mostly live.
I can, if I can mention Fraser, Gary's thing there with the filters. There are red, green, and blue, and if you watch television in the United States, you're seeing the same thing. People sort of think color is a thing, but it's really a composite. Our eyes work the same way, so that's why you have to put all three colors together there.
Because we have the receptors for the different colors in our eyeballs, and then our brain puts it all together, right?
Right. But one thing, going back to the Orion Nebula and the questions about color here too, is we see more green, and that's why when you look through a big enough telescope, you see more green than you don't see these red colors because our eyes are very insensitive to the red. So the Orion Nebula, for example, if it's big enough, you see green colors and a tiny bit of red.
Helen notes that we should bring in Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yes, we know Helen. Yes. JP, trust me, that would be awesome.
We have not told him no yet.
We haven't turned him down. All of the times that Neil has wanted to show up, we haven't.
He's called me up on my cell phone. I'm like, "What's up, NDT?" This week's not going to work.
Next week, yeah.
Next week. No, what I'll do is I'll reach back. We used to talk quite a bit with the Star Talk folks, so I'll get back in touch with them and see what we can do about having a special edition.
No, and Star Talk has been super supportive of everything we've been doing. They've been just wonderful. So if you haven't already, definitely check out Star Talk, which is Neil.
And my friend, Dr. Funky Spoon, was on Star Talk Radio today.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I'll tweet it out here in a little bit. But he was doing on Venus. And him just hanging out with Neil deGrasse Tyson. And if you don't follow him, his Twitter handle is Dr. Funky Spoon. This is an amazing Twitter handle, and he is brilliant. A brilliant astronomer.
Helen also suggests Emily Lakdawalla. I think Emily's been in a couple of virtual star parties. She's definitely in our orbit, and we hang out with her quite a bit.
She's one of the smartest people I know.
I know.
She really is. I am blown away anytime I hear her speak or see her at events. She is so brilliant.
Yeah. So I've moved to Roy's view, and I think we're looking at M51.
That's what it is, M51.
And also it's Stuart's view. Oh, you guys wore the same
Yay!
outfit.
I got an image. Yay!
Hey, you're not 40 minutes late. We were 40 minutes early.
Yeah,
so...
40 minutes early for your image.
Hey, I'm all. You said we were saying we're gonna start at 8:30, so I started taking it easy. And slow.
Finding a beer. Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Well, I knocked it
Good.
over too.
Oh no. Oh. But you got a satellite there.
Yeah, I left it in there because it's kind of interesting because we deal with this stuff all the time, and you think that a satellite would ruin an image, but it really doesn't, because when we take these pictures, we'll take just a bunch of them. So we'll take 10 or 15 images, and then the software will automatically data reject all these extraneous data like satellites. So satellites, airplanes, all that kind of stuff will just magically go away with the software.
Yeah. Let's go back and forth. Just compare. We'll do a blink comparison. Anyone see a supernova? That looks like something there, huh? You look at that thing just down below there, David? Are you keeping an eye on that?
I better look. Somebody pull a Wikipedia page up.
As people who may not know, we accidentally discovered a supernova in an episode about 3 months back, but we didn't realize that's what we were looking at. In fact, as we were doing the episode, Tom Nathy was noting that galaxy can often have supernovae, but there isn't one in there right now, but there was.
I was
staring right at it.
Staring right at it. So now David is paranoid, and he sees supernovae everywhere.
I am pulling the Wikipedia page up right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Just to look at an older image.
Yeah. Just make sure. Just
We need somebody whose job it is to vet everything as we're doing these.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Or you fans could do that out there too.
Yeah. By all means, you should all be as paranoid now as we are.
That's the thing.
We promise we'll share the discovery with you.
Somebody watching the virtual star party that night could have noticed it too.
Yeah, don't leave it up to Tom Nathy, because then no, I'm just kidding, Tom. You're awesome.
Yeah, well now we're all.
Even though I wasn't there, I like to say, if I was there, no, I totally would have missed it too. I wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, I wasn't there, and then I watched it, and I didn't see it when Tom was talking about it, and then 5 days later, I said, "Oh God,
we can't not see it now."
It is one of those Find Waldo things. Like if you're not looking for it, you just
right.
your mind just isn't tuned on that level.
Brian Leifkowitz says, it's depressing to know I will never have starry skies. Never, Brian, never, ever.
I'm sure you will.
Where does
Gary is
where do you live,
out
Brian?
Los Angeles County. I'm downtown, and I can still, in the correct way, still see starry skies.
Yeah, if you knock yourself in the head with a big hammer.
Yeah, well, when I've had a long night out at the club,
If you do a search on Google for like dark sky map, I think it is, there's a great Google Maps view with overlaid on top of that the darkness of the various skies, and so you could use that to tell you where you want to go. And in many cases, you only have to go, at most a couple of hours drive to get away from the brightest city lights. And you should be able to see the Milky Way and all that, almost anywhere in the United States. Even the poor folks on the eastern seaboard where it's pretty bright.
But people should be aware that the dark skies awareness and light pollution effort is really, really growing lately for a lot of different reasons. And if you join the International Dark Sky Association and help out, it is possible to bring starrier skies back to the cities too.
Yeah.
Because there's so much wasted light. We could save a lot of money and get
energy wasted, light wasted, astronomer sadness.
No, that's never wasted. We use that for dissertations.
Right.
You have to defend? All right, well, channel all that inner hate and go.
All right, I'm going to move to Gary's view. Oh, yeah.
You got to know what that is.
Yeah, that's the rosette.
It is.
Fraser's favorite.
Well, Brian lives in New York City. Okay, well, that you got to make sure that you got to have the power get knocked out.
Right. It happened years ago.
It happened. But no, there's places you can go. I'm sure there's dark sky parks you can go within a couple of hour drive to get to some dark skies. Do it. Make a night of it. All right. That's fantastic, Gary. That's a really terrific picture.
Yeah, I love the way that comes out well.
So there is a comment on the Q&A app. Let me see if I can find it again. I lost it. From Amber. Says that she's going to be at a star party on Friday, and she's in Arizona. And will there be anything of interesting to catch? Well, I'm going to screen share real quick, and we will take a look. So I moved position to Phoenix. I don't know exactly where in Arizona you are, and I will just move the date forward. Yep, the 11th. Yeah, let me see here.
You got a full moon.
So we have a moon here. We have Mars that's going to be up.
Yeah.
The moon will be about 4 days prior to that eclipse and prior to full. So
I'm going to do something that you can't do out there and get rid of this atmosphere.
that is cool.
And now everyone's dead. But so this what we're looking at right now is just the constellations here, and this is right now on Friday from Arizona. And this is a great app. This is free. It's open source. This is Stellarium, where you can. It's just fantastic. I love being able to use this and go in, and you can get a whole bunch of information about what's going on with it as well to help better learn your night sky, even when you're having horrible light pollution like Brian, or having cloudy skies like our astronomers all the time this spring.
To control your telescope.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
So just point on an object, and then the telescope will point at that object. I love the future. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody there was a garage sale, and somebody was selling an old, like a 30-year-old 8-inch Celestron telescope. I was like, not without a go-to, thanks.
That's rare to see on the Earth, though.
You kids don't know how to do anything.
I am not. I need to press a button and have it go to the object. I learned my night sky, Michael. I'm all right. I'm okay. Okay, Roy. I've moved to Roy's view again. What do you got, Roy?
This one is M81.
Wow.
Yeah.
We haven't seen this one in a while. It's got another star in it, David.
Hey, I'm like following everybody here. I've got the supernova actually.
Okay, well then we're gonna go to you.
Take a look.
You see it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
Let's see if I can get it over.
To the M82. It's not still around, is it?
Yeah, it's right there. You can see the supernova in there. I mean, I've got a little star trailing there, but it's right there.
Wow.
Right there in it. You see? Little dot inside the galaxy.
Yeah. That's crazy. The Tom Naty supernova. We got about 15 minutes left, David. So if you can switch to Mars, have you already switched to Mars?
Yeah, I'm on Mars right now.
Oh, you're on Mars. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of blurry because it's behind clouds, but that is indeed Mars, and I can see a little bit of the northern polar cap on the limb.
Yeah.
Where there's a white
it's so much bigger now. Look at that.
Yeah. It's about 15 arc seconds for this opposition for these next few weeks. That's about mid-range for an opposition. It's going to be getting better. The opposition in 2018 is going to be nearly as good as the one in 2003 that we had, which was really optimal, like 25 arc seconds across. So
there's a hint of some features on there too, even with
you can see kind of in between blurriness there that once in a while there's some features that are popping out. So
yeah. So I mean, just back to Amber's question, I would say Mars. Get your eyeball looking at Mars, because you're not going to see anything that you're not going to see Mars. In fact, it's like isn't it like the closest Mars we're going to get in quite a while?
It's the closest until the next. We're in a cycle of oppositions that are getting successively better. So you see a lot of places are saying it's the best in about 6 years because we're coming off a cycle of bad oppositions.
Yeah.
And the one in 2016 is going to be better, and 2018 is going to get even better than that, and then they're going to start getting worse again. So not every opposition to Mars is favorable.
Now, when's it going to be as big as the full moon in the sky?
Never, not from Earth. You would have to travel there to see that. So
right.
Maybe from Deimos it might be that large.
So, Fraser, can I mention something about Mars here? You had Alan Stern on the weekly space. I can't even remember what you call it.
We had him on the Space Hangout, yeah.
Yeah, right. And Uwingu, it's about the Uwingu map of Mars and the naming of craters and so on. The first province to be named on the Uwingu map of Mars is now called Astronomers Without Borders.
Nice.
And if people are naming craters, if they want to have the name of a crater there, and they do it within Astronomers Without Borders province, That'll be part of their address on Mars. So when people send postcards and so on, that's where it'll go to. And we're having a campaign to do that. Some of the funding goes to AWB as well, but it's not a large amount. But we're going to try and get everybody to name craters in there.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to go. Scott, you're showing off something.
I am. So this is from Stephen Ron. This is M104, the Sombrero Galaxy that he's taken.
Nice. That is, that we did an episode of our videos about why galaxies have arms, and we asked people to tell us what their favorite galaxy was, and a bunch of people mentioned the Sombrero, and I have got to agree. It is one of my favorite galaxies.
It's one of my favorites. It's beautiful.
And it's we're entering galaxy season now, so you're going to see a lot of galaxies on the virtual star party for the next couple of months before we move into summer nebula season.
Yes. I'm seeing some comments here on the Q&A app, and I love it. This is from Scott Chapman. So he always has Stellarium up during the VSP to look up the objects that are discussed. That's a great...
That is great. Yeah. So, we'll mention these objects, and you can go and find the Sombrero Galaxy or where Mars currently is, and literally you can go outside and see Mars. It's not hard now. Go outside, we'll wait, look to the east, and Mars, if you're in North America, it should be starting to come up for you.
And it's free. It's available on Windows, Mac, and Linux. And if you want to,
mobile devices,
more star data as well. If you do end up hooking up to your GoTo and things like that, it's a great tool.
Yeah,
I've used it in class, and I've used it in the VSP quite a bit as well. And it's just awesome, and it's a great tool. And it's very lightweight. It doesn't take up much space on the computer.
I'm going to go back to Shaw's view of the sun because it's...
Yeah, it's incredible that you can see the focus changes with the seeing.
Yeah.
And you can see all the boiling surface of the sun, so-called.
That's great. Now, this is visible light, right? You're not doing this in H-alpha.
No, it's just a white light. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the hydrogen alpha filter shows you, that's what you can see, the prominences on the surface of the sun.
Yes, that's when we need Paul Stewart to come here and show off his H-alpha sun. Where's Paul?
Yeah, where's Paul? Paul is also the upside down astronomer.
The upside down astronomer, right?
Yeah, I tried to talk Paul into coming today, but he said he had to work.
What?
That's
well, it is daytime for him.
Yeah,
no, but it also
He's also from New Zealand. I didn't know that hobbits had jobs. I love Paul. So Paul and I love giving each other a hard time. So I'm sure when he watches this later, he's gonna have some comments to give me on Twitter.
Okay, David, I see it. Make it happen.
It's very low to the horizon, but I do have it in there. I may have to look at the front of the scope here and see if I'm fogged over or not. It seems like it's having a hard time getting brighter, but I do have Saturn about maybe 10 degrees above the eastern horizon right now.
Well, this is just the beginning of Saturn season, so
yeah,
it'll get better and better.
Let's see what I can do with it here. I might be able to...
You can hit it with your hair dryer?
I might have to, yeah. If I do, I'll mute. Okay.
You got another picture there, Scott.
This is from Osiris Ra. This is the Trifid Lagoon Nebula. Taken with his... I'm so jealous. I want his camera. He's got a Canon 5D Mark III, and it's mounted to his ED-80. It's taken a couple weeks ago from Western Australia.
Yeah.
I think I can zoom in here. Oh, yes, I can. Here we go.
So what's an ED-80? It's an 80mm refractor?
I think it's a refractor, right?
No,
this is
it's a refractor.
An Orion?
Yeah, the ED means it's a special kind of glass, greater dispersion. So
yeah, it's about a $1,500 telescope.
Yeah, well, not always. If anybody wants to get a Celestron 80mm ED that's closed out, I feel like I'm selling used cars tonight. I'm just.
What can you
let's call now, and we'll throw in.
Yeah, store.astronomers.borders.org, $349. $349. Imagine that. And it's the Celestron 80mm ED. It's a good bargain. So.
All right, I'll take one. And I'll hook my 5D Mark II up to it. That'll be great.
I'll send you one.
Okay.
You got a 5D Mark II?
I do, yeah.
I have the Mark I. Poor me.
Oh, it's a
I hate you
wonderful
all.
camera. Yeah,
Well,
all the
why don't
videos we're doing now is on the Mark III.
Why didn't you just give me your T3i instead of making me buy it?
Oh, you didn't buy mine. I still use my T3i. Okay, I've gone back to Gary's view. Gary, what do we got?
This is California Nebula.
Nice.
And,
Hey, I see my house.
This is just a piece of it. It goes off the frame. Now, something we haven't mentioned in a while, I shoot very wide field. I can't even shoot the moon because there's about 3 moons across and 2 moons high. So I get it just like you're looking at it with your eye. So to give you the perspective, the full moon is about that big. If your eyes could see this, this would be a spectacular object in the night sky.
Yeah.
But you can't.
No.
That's amazing. Oh, man. Okay, so David's got it. Hey, everybody. So is this first Saturn?
No. No, we've had Saturn, I think, twice.
Yeah, but it was from
we've got
the folks in England.
Yeah. It's coming in there. It's still a little cruddy because it's down so low on the horizon here, and I think there may be some fog in the internal optics too. But it's you can see the rings. It'll get better once we're doing it when it's high in the sky.
Oh, it's great. Yay.
You know what this reminds me of? When I did the VSP in 60-second videos, which I think I'm going to start doing again. But the first time I did it, and I didn't really have, I didn't know what to write, so I just went, Saturn. And this is exactly the first time we get to see Saturn in the season. We're all just little school kids.
I mean, the people who watch the VSP every week, they start to really get a sense of which objects are in the sky at which times, and so we're entering the season where Saturn is going to be coming up a little earlier every night, and so for the next until summer we'll have Saturn in the virtual star parties.
Yeah,
and then
I believe its opposition is in May, so yeah.
Oh wow. So it's going to be big and bright.
Yeah, but then we're going to enter into that cycle in the fall again where we have no planets once again in the evening. So we'll have Mars, but it will be so tiny it will look like a little dot. So
when will we get Jupiter? It'll be there.
We have Jupiter right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jupiter. Jupiter just passed quadrature here on April 2nd, so it's going to be around for a few more months before it goes beyond the sun.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to go to Roy's view because it's live.
Nice.
That is a 90-second each channel, red, green, and blue of 42.
Yeah, now that is as close to real color as you're going to get.
Yeah.
Can you embiggen?
I can't embiggen, but I can do something a little better.
Zoom and enhance.
I stretched a little farther so you can see it. So this is where you can see, depending on the exposure, how well things will blow up. So if I come over here and take this one.
That's not the Orion Nebula.
That's the Roy Ryan Nebula. Right.
Yeah. So you can see how I've stretched it out a little bit so you can see some of the wisps at the bottom of it. But the center is now just totally overexposed.
Wow.
Right. That's amazing, Roy.
Yeah, that's terrific. And now I'm going to show you Stuart's version.
So
Stewart.
That's not live.
No, of course not. But I pulled this up because first of all, I'm having equipment problems, but also this is really sort of apropos because Roy was talking about how the core gets blown out. And what I did on this image when I processed it is if you look here, here's the core.
Yeah.
And you can see the trapezium there, but you can also see the outer layers. And to process this, I had to take 3 sets of images. The core was at 5 seconds, and the outside layer was at I think 4 minutes. And so I had to layer them on top of each other to create what's called a high dynamic range of processing.
This is the only viable use for HDR, in my opinion.
Right. In astrophotography, there's maybe 1 or 2 others, other objects that.
No, it all just looks outside of astrophotography. It just looks awful.
Right, but this is when you absolutely have to use it. And if you look at Roy's, he has his core blown out, and he has his core blown out because it's so darn bright.
You get that checked, Roy.
Yeah, and I just pulled up because it's a kind of fun image that I did, but it just shows how different Orion can be and how difficult can be to process because the core is so bright.
Brian is saying that he named the Homer Simpson Nebula. Was it you, Brian? That's is it
the Met Homer?
The Borg Homer is the lagoon.
Is the Lagoon Nebula? Yeah, that's awesome. Good job, Brian.
Now we got one here too. Before we go, bring another one here from Osiris Ra.
Oh,
Scorpio. Jeebus.
that is the same object. Yes, that is
Yeah.
Scorpio. So that's what Cory was showing us.
Right. So this is taken again with his 5D Mark III. I don't like you right now, Osiris Ra. It's his 50mm 1.8, which I have that same lens. So hey,
Yeah.
we share that lens, yay, on his EQ5 Pro mount. So that's an amazing lens. It's $100. It's a nifty 50 lens for the Canon.
I don't understand then. I mean,
love
how
it.
are you running the lens? You're not just running it with a T adapter.
It's just his view. It's 1.8. His focal length. Or
Yeah,
no,
but
it's
50mm lens, so you shouldn't be running a lens. Anyway, because you
I
should
actually
use the
did
eyepiece.
change my image.
Yeah. Oh, you did change your image.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you
went
just got the
down.
rest of it.
Yeah, there's a bottom piece, and I'm trying to take the other end of it right now.
Oh, great. And I'm gonna go back to David's view of Saturn.
Oh,
It looks good, David.
Yeah, it's
And I
getting
know
better.
it's super low, so it's gonna get way better.
and I'm gonna bail. I've got Cosmos.
No, we'll wrap it up now anyway. So you can bail, Scott. What's the next thing you want people to know about?
Oh, geez. All the things. I don't
Okay,
think we have
alright.
any Hubble Hangouts this week, but we have Space Fan News, which comes out on Friday morning, along with the weekly Space Hangout at noon Pacific, and then Space Fan News Live at 6. And then that night, again, is going to be Yuri's night, so I'm going to head over to the Space Shuttle and be shooting stuff down there for Yuri's
That's
night.
awesome.
So that's
All right.
at California Science Center.
You're free to go. I'll wrap the rest of this up, and then people can go watch Cosmos.
All right, bye, everyone.
Bye. All right, so David, hey, thank you very much as always. It's always a pleasure, and
I really set up tonight. So I'm glad.
wonderful collection of objects. You hit all the planetary highlights. That's so great.
Yeah, we should have the moon again next week too. So we should have the same lineup, assuming it's clear.
That sounds great. Gary, thanks as always.
You're welcome as always.
All right. Mike, thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, sorry I didn't get in earlier.
Yeah, strange you didn't get the invite, but I will. I don't know what to
I have
say.
some announcements for next. I'll do it next time too about the 60-inch, possibly in a future virtual
don't-
star party here.
Don't tease me. I can't handle it. Bring it. Make it happen. It's gonna be so great.
We're working on it.
Oh, that'd be amazing. 60-inch telescope in the VSP. Can you?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Not fair.
Roy, thanks as always.
No problem.
Shaw, thanks for braving the heat. You can go into your air conditioning, I hope. Do you have air conditioning?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, good,
It's
good.
been great. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, thanks a lot. And thanks, Stuart. Oh,
Sure.
one last picture.
Well, there's one last picture. It was my last
Supernova.
M108. We haven't seen this before. It's first part of Galaxy season. It's this tiny little barred spiral galaxy, kind of near M51.
But this is the last. Is this the last moon? The last Messier object's 110, right?
I think so. Yeah.
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 Oh, it's great.
There's some controversy about that, but David probably knows all about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 102 is the one that's they think it's an extra entry in the catalog. There's some debate about what M102 is supposed to be.
All right, well, cool. Well, I'm gonna let you guys all go, so we can all go watch Cosmos and/or Game of Thrones. So, thanks everyone for watching.
All right.
Thanks to all the
thanks.
astronomers for joining us. Thanks to the skies for giving us some clear views. We really appreciate it, and we will see you all next week.
All right, later.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, guys.
The best night for the moon as well.
Yeah, first quarter. This is the best time because it's up in the evening. It's high in the sky, and you've got a good profile right along the Terminator where you can see all those craters and mountains, and they all stand right out in profile.
Now, Eric Charlin is saying Jupiter is supposed to be close to the moon tonight.
It is very
Yes,
close.
it is.
It's about 5 degrees away. I actually could see Jupiter in the daytime near the first quarter moon before the sunset today. I went out with my binoculars, and you could spy it. You can find Jupiter near the moon in the daytime if you know exactly where to look for it.
And Eric also says, nice to have you back, guys. I was going through serious withdrawal symptoms. P.S. Fraser, tomorrow's video is really good. Loved it. What's our topic for tomorrow? Oh, is there a real Tatooine? So I do the video series on YouTube.
So real Tatooine?
Could Tatooine be real? Yeah. Yeah, so that was the topic for tomorrow. And so Eric is one of our Patreon subscribers, patreon.com/universetoday.
One of your patrons?
One of our patrons, and so he gets advance access to the video. So we give out tomorrow's video today. And also full-length interviews, so check it out. Patreon.com/universetoday. But this has nothing to do with the virtual stuff.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. I never plug shamelessly. So, all right, let's move on.
So wait, do you have an app by any chance?
I'm surprised. I'm glad you asked. Actually, I don't have it handy.
Actually, I might.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well, I'm going to move on to Gary's view.
This is the Orion.
Nice.
That is
okay, here Scott is showing our phases of the moon app. Thank you for shamelessly plugging it. Move forward to the 15th, Scott, or the 14th, 15th.
Nice.
What color did it turn?
You are awesome.
Look at that, it went red.
Yes. So this is free on Google Play, or I'm using actually the Pro version, which I happen to be friends with the developer of. So, but 99 cents on both.
It's $1.99 on either iOS or
$1.99. So, but this is great. I've used this with planetary astronomy students at the local college, and when they're trying to learn their phases of the moon, it's very interactive. You can go forward and back in time. It shows the libration. I love it. Great app.
You are the best promoter, Scott. Thank you so much.
Right. Just perfect.
You know what? I'm gonna go watch Game of Thrones right now.
Right.
And
I'll drive this crazy bus.
Will you? No, you won't. You'll be watching it too. But hey, you know what? There's like a ton of people actually watching tonight, so
awesome.
So they know what matters.
Thank you, everyone.
Live astronomification.
Game of Thrones doesn't answer your questions right now. We do.
No, we do. Yeah, you're not gonna get it from Game of Thrones. Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't gonna point a telescope at the things you're asking for.
True.
No, Cosmos is awesome. Okay, Shah.
Hey guys.
In Malaysia, and tell us the temperature again.
It's blazing hot, 40 degrees Celsius.
40 degrees. What is that in Fahrenheit? Hold on, I got
104. 104.
It's in Celsius.
CNF. 104. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's madness.
No, that's hot.
I don't know. And we got Darth Stewart in the darkness. Hey, Stuart. He can't hear. He's too busy collimating or flattening or whatever it is.
I think he's getting beer, actually.
Is he getting beer?
I don't know.
That's a good idea.
Oh, no, he's not getting beer.
I grabbed some beer. Tonight we got a Blue Moon. It's very good.
Ugh. Why would you do that to yourself?
All right, David. Let's just kick this off with the first of the 4 targets.
How about we let people know how they can get a hold of us and ask those questions?
No, by all means, please. I've already had
hey,
please.
We're going to brag, but not give you the
facilities
to do this. So if you have any questions or comments for us or the astronomers involved, please use the Q&A app, which you can access both on Google Plus and on YouTube. We are also over on Twitter at _VSP, or either one of us personally. F. Cain is Fraser, myself the Scientific Scott. David is Astro Guys with a Z. And Stewart is not important. It's Astro Sushi.
S24 Man?
S24 Man? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're all over the internet. Also coming on YouTube as well, and we'll be tracking those on the event page. And if we like you, or basically if I find it in time.
It's kind of funny.
What is this thing? What is this gray?
That is the waxing
you've got here.
Technically waxing crescent about maybe 8 hours from first quarter moon. It's inverted in the scope, so that is indeed a first quarter moon, only it's upside down. So it's got the illuminated half on the wrong side. But well, from the way I'm looking at it anyway. So yeah, the moon's only about a week from that lunar eclipse coming up, the first eclipse of 2014, and it's going to be a series of 4 lunar eclipses, 2 this year and 2 next year, that North America is going to get to see all 4. So we're going from we haven't had a total lunar eclipse since 2011, and now we're going to have a whole bunch of them just like every 6 months or so we're going to have one. So it's going to be kind of cool. They're fun to watch.
Okay, so we've got Astronomy Honduras says, can some of you confirm that Mars is closest to Earth on Tuesday?
It's not closest, but it's at opposition. and it's kind of strange because you would think it's at the very closest during opposition, but it's not quite because Mars its orbit is elliptic, and what's happening is both of the Earth and the Moon are kind of like chasing each other around, and my hands are moving, but you can't see what I'm doing right now. Mars is actually moving slightly closer, about one moon diameter, one moon distance from the Earth. So it's about a week. Actually, it's that night of the eclipse that's actually closest. So it's going to get just a little bit closer over that next week. So it's opposition this Tuesday, then Mars at its closest for 2014 the next Tuesday, and then Earth is going to catch up on that inside racetrack and start moving faster away from Mars. So.
Right, and so it's just that you've got both planets on elliptical orbits, and it's just how those elliptical orbits line up, which is different than how the Sun, the Earth, and Mars line up. But, I mean, it's already crazy bright, and so it's going to be at its brightest in about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, and I'll probably move over to Mars here in about 20 minutes or so. I'll probably move onto the narrow field camera and then aim that at the moon and start changing targets.
Oh, fantastic. Well, the moon looks great. I mean, this is... hey, everyone. Oh, hey, everybody. I wasn't sure if it started. If it hasn't started, I don't know.
Always professional. We're always like this.
So, just trim this out. Scott, afterwards, could you just get rid of the starting
Yeah, I'll get rid of it in post. I get rid of things in post. That's fine.
Change my words to something really witty, like, hey, everyone, my name is Fraser Cain. I am the publisher of Universe Today, and this is your virtual star party for Sunday, April 6th, 2014. I am amazed that we were able to make a star party happen tonight because spring sucks.
Yeah, it does.
You're realizing that spring is it's the worst. We had to cancel the last two versions of the virtual star party, and then I think we had one and we had to cancel before. So I have decided that we need to have like a war on spring. So that's just so spring, fair warning, we're coming to get you. But Dave Dickinson was able to make it. Hey, David.
Hey, what's up?
And you got 4 targets for us tonight.
I should have the moon as that first quarter, and then Jupiter, Mars, and maybe Saturn if it's above the trees by the end of the show. We'll see. Saturn. Yeah, Saturn is rising about a little before midnight now, so we might be able to get it.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah.
So sorry to do this to you, David.
That's okay. Hopefully my bandwidth gets better as the show goes on here and people go to bed.
We got Gary Gonella. Hey, Gary.
Hey, guys.
You're looking like just crystal clear. I don't know what's going on. It's like super HD.
Yeah, I've been drinking a lot, so I'm clear.
Roy Salisbury. Hey, Roy.
Hey.
You're frozen. Oh, no, there you are. All right. And, of course, my partner in crime, Scott Lewis.
How's it going, everyone?
And now, Scott, you mentioned on the Twitters that we could not have had a worse night.
Oh, man. It's just the epic battle for attention spans right now. So we have Game of Thrones premiere happening, Cosmos happening, and I think the only thing that would really make it worse is Firefly Season 2 and the spin-off of Breaking Bad happening all tonight. I will totally respond, and we'll make sure that you guys get up there.
And then I guess one last announcement, or just a warning. It's the Yuri's Night on Friday?
It's Saturday?
Saturday
the 12th, so coming up this week. I know I'll be at the event in Los Angeles, so that's on the 11th at the California Science Center by Space Shuttle Endeavour. It's going to be awesome. So anybody that's local in the Los Angeles area, come down. I'm sure tweet me. I'll find you somewhere. But go to yurisnight.net, and you can. It's a huge international celebration. So there are local events somewhere local to you, somewhere around the world. I think 43 countries are having an official Yuri's Night celebration.
And the other big announcement we got to make is, and David's been following all this, is there's a lunar eclipse coming on the 14th, 15th.
14th, 15th. Yep.
Yeah, so Tuesday?
Yeah, the Tuesday after next. Yeah, not this coming week.
So
week after.
I know Scott has got plans, and I think we're going to try and do like a big live stream of the lunar eclipse. So, and this is going to be like seriously, people, set up some time, gather together with your friends. This is going to be a lunar eclipse visible in the night sky to most of the United States. Like pretty much all of the United States is going to get a view to this lunar eclipse. Especially if you're over on the West Coast, you're going to get just the perfect view of it. So this is going to be the one.
I should be able to stream it with this setup if it's clear. The camera I have in right now, it gets a pretty good full moon frame.
You're in. All right, and Scott's going to work on it too. So yeah, this will be great. I'm really excited. Okay, well let's get rocking then. Oh, and also you can use the Q&A app, which is running right now. So if you want, you can go to you should watch oh no, we've got some clouds. Fraser is answering questions on Google Hangouts, and you can interact there. So go ahead. Okay, cool. So David, we're going to start with your first of 4 targets. What do you got?